Hello all, and good evening, or actually good night. I've been programming for like 9 hours at a stretch to get something really fascinating working, actually. What you see here is an SDL PPX file. That's an SDL package, project package, as some of you may know. And these are actually pretty complicated files. If I change the extension into zip, I can open it and you see a whole directory structure with a terminology database in Microsoft Access format. Sorry, a terminology database in not Microsoft Access, but what was it again? Oh yeah, SQLite format. That's it. The terminology databases, there are two of them in this case. Those are in Microsoft Access format. Then there are some reports in XML format. Then there is a target file in SDL XLIF format, plus a PDF reference file. And the same for the source file, in this case in English. And then there is an SDL project file in the main directory. So yeah, all pretty complicated. And if you then actually look at the core file, which is this Dutch file here, this SDLX lib file, well, that's what it looks like from the inside. So this, even not only is the directory structure complicated, the inside of the files in that directory structure is also pretty complicated. So yeah, importing these was quite a challenge, but after 9 hours of programming or so, I think I succeeded in making this round trip, which means that Cattitude is now fully compatible with SDL. Okay, so what happens if I open this package in Trados Studio itself? We're loading the application window, and this takes quite a while, actually. All these packages, how shall I call them? Competitive cat tools seem to be a bit slow compared to Cattitude. Okay, here is the project structure. I'm importing the package. And then when I've done that, I can get into the project, select the translatable file I want to translate. And then finally, I will see what needs to be done. That's these three strings. It's a very small file, but it should show you that the round trip is actually working. Okay, so let's close this again. I'm not going to save any changes. We're going to open this not in Cattitude. I mean, not in Trados, but we're going to open this in Cattitude. And that goes like this. And what's that speed? English, Dutch, there we go. And we're done, actually. It has found the strings that need translation, has converted them to Cattitude format. Then below there's a lot of, a lot of code, it looks like. This is just for debugging purposes, but this actually tells me that the first terminology database, it has been found, and it has been added to Cattitude's memory. The same goes for the second terminology database it has found. This one too has been added to Cattitude's memory. The funny thing is that I tried importing this very same Trados package into another very famous cat tool, and it did not see the second terminology database. So Cattitude is actually handling this better than some other tools. And then last but not least, it has automatically found the translation memory, and it has imported all of these entries into Cattitude's memory. I can show you this is true. Here is the terminology database. As you can see, the two terminology databases in the Trados package has been merged into one Cattitude terminology database, and here you will find the 1278 entries in the translation memory belonging to this project package. Well, the beautiful thing is that all of this has been added to the main memory of Cattitude. whereas if you open these kind of project packages in other CAD tools, you'll find that they will be imported in separate projects using separate memories. And one of the great things about Cattitude is that it basically, memory-wise, it uses the philosophy a much older CAD tool used to use in the past, which is the Big Mama philosophy. Cattitude at this moment works with just one huge memory. I can show you an example here. And inside that are sub-memories defined by a client column. So I can use this one database, this one memory. I can do a Control-K to search the whole memory for all clients, and I can press Control-L to only search in records entries that have my client in the client column. Basically, that means that I can also I can search both the whole memory and just the part of the memory pertaining to the client, whose file I'm working on at this very moment. So that is great, really, because that means that while I'm translating, while I'm doing the translation for this client, I can simultaneously dig into the very same memory that is also used for other clients. And that makes Cattitude really powerful, especially because there are no extra settings you have to do. You have to make, I know that in other CAD tools, you have to import all these separate memories for separate clients separately. Whereas in Cattitude, this all happens automatically. It's all put in the Big Mama, and then based on your on the which buttons you press, Cattitude decides which parts of this Big Mama memory should actually be searched. So yeah, okay. Well, without further ado, here we have a first sentence. It has now been machine translated using Doraemon, the big server sitting right behind me. You can just see the purple screen in the background. And as you can see, we immediately get a fuzzy match. We get a 96% match. Only one word has been changed. Well, okay, so I can just press Ctrl up to copy this, because I think this is a lot better than the machine translation generated automatically. I'm not really satisfied about the current translation of this client, so I'm gonna do some editing. Dit product gebruikt een functie genaamd head tracking om te detecteren in welke in welke richting u kijkt. Ja. Om daarmee een natuurlijk surround geluid te creëren. Dit product gebruikt een functie genaamd head tracking om te detecteren in welke richting u kijkt. En daarmee is probably better. Dit product gebruikt een functie genaamd head tracking om te detecteren in welke richting u kijkt. En daarmee een en I think we can just leave this out. Om te detecteren in welke richting u kijkt. En zo. En op die manier een natuurlijk surround geluid. Dit product gebruikt een functie genaamd head tracking om te detecteren in welke richting u kijkt. En op die manier een natuurlijk surround geluid. This sounds pretty good. Okay, so let's add this. The second one. This is an exact match from the memory that was included in the Trados package. Let's just check it, just to make sure. Initialiseert de gegevens die op dit product zijn opgeslagen over de richting van uw hoofd. Met betrekking tot. Initialiseer de gegevens die op dit product zijn opgeslagen met betrekking tot de richting van uw hoofd. Nee, tot de kant die u opkijkt. Dat sounds a lot better. Initialiseer de gegevens die op dit product zijn opgeslagen met betrekking tot de kant die u opkijkt. De richting waarin u kijkt. How's that? Initialiseert de gegevens die op dit product zijn opgeslagen met betrekking tot de richting waarin u kijkt. Initialiseert de gegevens die op dit product zijn opgeslagen met betrekking tot de richting waarin u kijkt. Oké, well, this sounds good, I guess. Gebruik dit als de geluidspositie in het surround sound veld van de middenpositie afbeweegt. Bijvoorbeeld als u, let's be consistent, als u plotseling in een andere richting beweegt. Enzovoort. Okay, let's just do this. This is just a draft translation. Maybe it can be done better, but this is not what I want to show you. I want to show you the round trip with SDL Trados project packages. That's what this video is about. Okay, so I have now saved these 3 translations. If I press F5 and refresh the window, you can see that they've actually been saved in the database. What you can also see is that that Cattitude no longer imports terminology in the database. It has already found in said database. So when I read the same project package multiple times, the entries in this package won't be added to the memory multiple times. As you can see here, for example, there are still only 21 terminology entries, and there's one funny thing going on here. As you can see, for some reason, this entry is re-added, so that's some debugging I have to do. This is a small bug. I have to find out why Cattitude decides to re-add these. Anyway, as you can see, the number of records has grown from 1281 to 1290. That's not something we want, but I'll dive into that later. This is just a small bug that's probably pretty easily solved. Okay, so we've done this translation, and now I'm going to export the result. There we go. That was quick, wasn't it? Now, what we have here is an SDL return package. I can show you this. If I change the extension into zip and I open it, we see the project file and the Dutch file and the English file. The PDF reference file has been deleted automatically, and I can send this back right to the client. Unfortunately, I cannot show you this because I'm not the one who generated this project. So when I try to read this return package back into SDL Trados, I've got an error saying that some reports file in C info user temp local whatever, a very long directory name is missing. So that's not going to work. What I can show you though is the translated project package here. That's this file. It has an extra NL extension, and when I open this, there we go. Takes a while, as said. This makes Cattitude feel so fast. And then I press finish. I've already imported this package, that's okay. And then I close, and then I press this one. And now we can see the contents of the file with my translation. As you can see, here are my translations. These are different segments than the segments we started with. And all 3 segments have also been confirmed, which was actually really a pain to program. This is something that's pretty complicated. There's some pretty complicated things going on behind the screens of SDL Trados, and what you can see is part of the code doing this. And as you can see, it looks really complicated. So anyway, what do we have? 227 lines of code to just export this translation to SDL Trados. Well, the code is not something users need to worry about, fortunately. What you need to worry about is how fast you can make this round trip. And as you can see, it goes pretty fast and easy. So what I'm going to do is debug this part, these rows that were added in to the database accidentally. That's probably something that will be solved tomorrow. But I hope that you understand that Cattitude is now also fully compatible with SDL Trados. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Good night.